Hey YouTube, this is PrimetimePokemon. In this video, I'll be reviewing and ranking all 9 Pokemon GX cards from the Forbidden Light set. So this video is geared towards the competitive player and the standard format. So in the Forbidden Light set, there are 9 different Pokemon GX. I'll be showing the GX full art cards just because Lucario is not available as a regular GX in this set. Value-wise, for the most part, these cards range somewhere between $3 and about $40, with Ultra Necrozma being the most valuable GX. And usually, that correlates with how good a card is in the competitive scene. So in my opinion, the 9th best, or really the worst GX card in the Forbidden Light set would be Palkia GX. This is a water type card, a basic evolution form, 180 HP. It is weak to grass type Pokemon and then has a 3 colorless energy card retreat cost. 3 moves on this card: Spatial Control, Hydro Pressure, and Zero Vanish GX. Spatial Control for 1 water energy card allows you to move any number of energy from your bench Pokemon to this Pokemon. So you could put something like Aqua Patch down into play, put a water energy from your discard pile onto one of your bench Pokemon, then use Spatial Control to accelerate energy onto Palkia GX. Hydro Pressure for 3 colorless energy cards does 60 damage plus 20 more damage times the amount of water energy attached to this Pokemon. So you could essentially do 120 damage just by having 3 water energy cards on Palkia GX. And then its GX attack, Zero Vanish, does 150 damage for 5 energy cards. It says, shuffle all energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon into their deck. So if you're able to play this card later in a game when your opponent has all of their Pokemon set up, this GX attack can really hurt your opponent. The 8th best GX in Forbidden Light would be Zygarde GX. This is a fighting type GX card, basic evolution form. It is also weak to grass type Pokemon and has a high retreat cost of 3 colorless energy. This card has 3 moves on it. It does have a high HP of 200. Cell Connector for 2 colorless energy does 50 damage and says attach 2 fighting energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Land's Wrath for 4 energy does 130 damage, and then Verdict GX for 4 energy does 150 damage, plus it says prevent all damage done to this Pokemon from Pokemon GX and Pokemon EX during your opponent's next turn. So not only may it knock out something like a GX or EX when you use Verdict GX, but then it will prevent your opponent from attacking their next turn if they're using another GX or EX card. And then you can add something like Strong Energy to Zygarde GX to increase the amount of damage this card does when attacking. The 7th best GX from Forbidden Light would be Yveltal. A little lower HP on this card of 180. It is a Darkness type GX, basic evolution form, weak to Lightning type Pokemon. It does have a resistance to Fighting type Pokemon, and it has a 2 colorless energy retreat cost. 3 moves on this card: Absorb Vitality for 1 Darkness Energy does 20 damage, heal from this Pokemon the same amount of damage you did to your opponent's active Pokemon. Sonic Evil for 3 colorless energy does 100 damage, and Doom Count GX for 1 Darkness Energy says if your opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 4 damage counters on it, that Pokemon is knocked out. So you can hopefully get exactly 40 damage on your opponent's active Pokemon, then knock it out with Doom Count GX. So this may be a card that is saved on the bench until it is needed. Just put 1 energy on it and you can knock out, hopefully, something powerful like a GX that has a very high HP on it. The 6th best GX card from Forbidden Light would be Xerneas GX. This is a Fairy type, basic evolution form GX. It is weak to Metal type Pokemon. It does have a resistance to Darkness type Pokemon and has a 2 colorless energy card retreat cost. It does have a decent HP of 180. It has 3 moves. Overrun for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage. And it says this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Aurora Horns does 120 damage for 3 energy cards. And then Sanctuary GX for 3 energy cards says to move all damage counters from each of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So I sure hope you'd be able to knock out the defending Pokemon when you use Sanctuary GX. But if you have a lot of Pokemon that can retreat for free, or if you're using something like Guzma often, you can spread the damage around on your own Pokemon and then heal all of your Pokemon at the same time. Getting into the top 5 now, Greninja GX would be the 5th best GX in Forbidden Light. A very high HP of 230. It is a Water type, Stage 2 GX card. It is weak to Grass type Pokemon and has a 2 colorless energy retreat cost. This card has a similar ability to Greninja Break called Shuriken Flurry. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. I do prefer Greninja Break over this card, but Greninja Break will be rotated out soon. Haze Slash is its first move. It does 110 damage for 3 energy cards. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your deck. So you could use Shuriken Flurry once, then Haze Slash, and then reuse Shuriken Flurry at a later time. And then its GX attack is called Shadowy Hunter. For 3 energy cards, it says this attack does 130 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So you could use Shuriken Flurry on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and then knock it out with Shadowy Hunter GX. That not only gives you a big advantage by doing damage to a bench Pokemon, but it will not give your opponent time to get that card set up. The 4th best GX card in Forbidden Light would be Naganadel GX. This is another GX card with a high HP. This one has 210. It is a Stage 1 Psychic type GX card. It is weak to Psychic type Pokemon, but it does have a low retreat cost of 1 colorless energy. Its Beast Raid move for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage for each of your Ultra Beasts in play. And of course, Forbidden Light is heavy with Ultra Beast Pokemon. Jet Needle is this card's second move. For 3 energy cards, it does 110 damage. And then Stinger GX for 3 colorless energy cards says the following. Both players shuffle their prize cards into their deck. Then each player puts the top 3 cards of their deck face down as their prize cards. So if you are losing in a battle, Stinger GX can very quickly make the game a lot closer and give you a better chance at winning. But this card can be used with Malamar from Forbidden Light, and it can take down fighting type Pokemon that are weak to Psychic type Pokemon, like a Lucario GX or a Buzzwole GX. The 3rd best GX in Forbidden Light would be Dialga GX. This card is also in Ultra Prism as a Dragon type card. Here this one is a Metal type. It is a basic evolution form GX. It is weak to Fire type Pokemon, has a resistance to Psychic type Pokemon, and then a retreat cost of 3 colorless energy. 3 moves on this card. Overclock for 1 Metal Energy card says to draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Shred for 3 energy cards does 80 damage. And then Timeless GX is the main reason to use this card. For 5 energy, so it does take a long time to set up, this attack does 150 damage. But you're allowed to take another turn after this one, skipping the between turn step, so your opponent cannot attack in between your 2 turns. So you could knock out 2 GX cards in those 2 turns and take 4 prize cards. So this card can quickly win you the game. The 2nd best GX in Forbidden Light would be Lucario GX. And again, this card is not available as a regular GX. You can get it as a Black Star promo. A high HP of 210 on this card. This is a fighting type, Stage 1 GX card. 3 moves on this card. It is weak to Psychic type Pokemon, and it has a 2 colorless energy retreat cost. Aura Strike is the move to use on this card. For 1 fighting energy card, it does 30 damage. But if you evolved Riolu into Lucario this turn, the move does 90 more damage. You can then add strong energy to this card, put Diancie Prism Star on the bench, put Regirock EX on the bench, and you can do way more damage than 120. And then you can use De-Evolution Spray and devolve Lucario into Riolu, and then just do that over and over, being able to do major damage with Aura Strike each and every turn. Cyclone Kick isn't a bad move. For 3 energy cards, it does 130 damage. And then Cantankerous Beatdown GX for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage times each damage counter on Lucario. And with such a high HP, you can knock out any Pokemon out there very easily with this GX attack. Now the best card in Forbidden Light as far as GX cards go would be Ultra Necrozma GX. This is a Dragon type, basic evolution form GX. It has a solid HP of 190. It is weak to Fairy type Pokemon, and it has a 2 colorless energy retreat cost. Only 2 moves on this card. Photon Geyser for 2 energy cards does 20 damage plus discard all basic psychic energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 80 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. And you can pair this card with Malamar as well. That card has an ability on it allowing you to retrieve a psychic type energy from your discard pile each and every turn and attach it to one of your Pokemon. And then Sky Scorching Light GX for 2 energy cards says you can use this attack only if the total of both players' remaining prize cards is 6 or less. Put 6 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can potentially win the game by spreading that much damage around, knocking out multiple Pokemon. So as far as the GX cards go from Forbidden Light, they aren't the greatest, but overall it's a very solid group of GX cards. You see a lot of decks out there trying to utilize some of these GX cards. So that really concludes this video. I can show the 9 cards on the screen again in the order that I ranked all 9. And remember, this just is my opinion. If you have thoughts on my list or strategies for these GX cards, please let me know in the comment section of this video. So thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.